too long finishing it. So I have my own issues regarding like keeping myself at a certain place. We need to keep moving ourselves forward and keep creating, which is excellent, which sounds like what you're doing.
I swear
and that's
to
wonderful.
You, one of the themes in my show, there was a girl in my neighborhood. She was Puerto Rican, and I make a joke about that because in my Italian neighborhood, that was like, oh my God, there was a Puerto Rican girl. So she was really cool, though. And one day she took me around.
All Puerto Rican girls are cool, so stop.
Well, I mean, I learned it then. I didn't know.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
This was I'm trying to compliment the fact that I have
fabulous community.
Yes.
Especially our gay boys.
Love
and
my
girls.
Puerto Rican chick. She taught me this thing I'm going to tell you.
So tell us.
She took me around.
She was like an Italiana.
Yes.
Right.
She took me around the corner, and she was taking me to a store, but there was a funeral parlor on the way.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, she was this tough chick. She opened the door of the funeral parlor during a wake and screamed, "Wake up alive!" And it was so rude, and it was so crass. But I remember being this young, nervous child and thinking, what a concept, wake up alive. And I tell that story in my show.
What does it mean?
Marry it into, well, for me, it means anything you want it to mean. But for me, it meant you have to stop and wake up. You can't just go through life with the things you were taught or the things you've experienced. But at some point, you have to decide you have something to say. You have something you want to do. You have to sit in your room and finish the book or finish the play. Sondheim would say, finish the hat. But it's up to you to wake up. It's your version of, that.
Wow. I'm just curious. Why would she do that? Why would she open
It was
the
a
door?
random thing. That was just
something must have, as a therapist, I'm questioning, what made her do that to open up the door?
I'd love to know the answer, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, what made her do that? I have a feeling something happened in her life that caused her to react like that.
She was this chick. She was, I had seen nothing like this.
She knows it, especially Puerto Rican culture, and they really do honor the dead. And more than just as almost every culture, but again, they really do. That's really so anti her culture.
It was so strange to me, but again, I have viewed it all my life as a gift.
Well, I think if you got something positive out of it, I think
it that way.
But if I was a member in the family, I would have said, "Excuse me," I would have been going to wring her neck.
No, could you imagine? I mean, no, I was mortified.
Yeah.
I just walked faster away.
I don't blame you.
It was a normal thing.
I had friends like that were very out of control sometimes. And
I'm from the Bronx. This is normal. I mean, craziness.
Remember, he's from the Bronx.
I'm from the Bronx.
So tell us about the Bronx and being gay in the Bronx.
Well, let me just add, too, when we keep saying the show's called The Bronx Queen, and clearly I am a Bronx Queen, you might be interested to know that the title doesn't come from me being a Bronx Queen. Yeah. My dad, who was a rough guy, he, was hoping that maybe he could, kind of knock the gayness out of me and I would be straight.
Oh,
so the way he did that was he took me fishing constantly. And the name of the boat, I swear to God, the Bronx Queen.
Love it.
So I spent all my weekends on this boat called the Bronx Queen. And the Bronx Queen, years later, sunk. It was shipwrecked.
Was your dad on the boat?
No, thank God. No. But the boat sunk. So throughout my show, I tell my story of my life juxtaposed against the story of the boat.
It's kind of symbolic, like an analogy there. So is your life sinking?
You're a perp. No, to me, I mean, I don't want to give away too much of my show, but in my show, when the Bronx Queen sinks, is when I realize I don't have to be defined by being a queen in the Bronx, that I can define myself.
But again, for us, the word queen sometimes means effeminate. I don't get any effeminacy about you at all. I mean, you're very animated. I could see you, you dress very butch, all in black.
It's very funny you're saying that because, first of all, I get that. I am quite queenish. I mean, meaning I'm just me.
Like girl, everything.
I say that. No.
Girl.
Not so much girl and stuff like that, but meaning, people, I've never been a person that people thought I was straight. Although I will agree with you, my photos, me silent, I look a little less
you look very
that thing.
that butch picture you have on there. Yeah, as I said, when we were supposed to have another guest, and he wasn't sure about being able to do the show, and as soon as I said check his website, and the next thing I know is, oh, I'm available.
I love these compliments, and I like him, by the way,
JC
and I want
Alvarez,
to see. Yes,
JC's been a frequent guest on our show, and he's asked to be you to be a guest on his show,
I
talking
accept.
about
JC.
Okay.
I accept.
All right,
RSVP,
he'll be listening in. So anyway, let's just continue talking about your list of credits that you're doing. I'm reading this. You just gave me this
trying to impress
bio on you, yes, and the fact that you're on the big Italian gay wedding, which I saw off Broadway as Frankie. What's that like?
I'm so lucky because one day I saw it, one of the breakdowns, and it said they were looking for a cast member to play the caterer. You've seen the show. And in the breakdown, to me, it sounded like I could do that. And I went in and I auditioned and I met the very lovely production team and the writer, Anthony Wilkinson, who wrote it, and he produces it. And we had a great connection, all of us in that room, but I really wasn't right for that role. So he said to me, when they needed a replacement for some other parts, he would call me, and they have made those calls, and it's so much fun to do that show.
How long have you been doing the show now?
I've done it for the past 3 months as a replacement. Like, I play Frankie when that guy is doing other things. He's excellent, that guy. So I'm honored that they use me. Frankie, the character, is very much a Bronx kind of guy, although it's Staten Island in the show. Just a gay guy who's very just bold about it, and he just gets what he wants, and, big mouth.
Maybe next year I'll audition for it. Right now I'm teaching 4 classes and 2 are at night. So.
Like me, when you hear my big Italian gay wedding, and you're us, you're like, there must be a part for me in the show.
There must be.
So I'm here to
I saw the show, but as I said, I thought it was a farce. It's kind of farce.
It's a farce, but you know what I like about it? It's really gay positive. It's like the gay stuff is really incidental.
My big Italian gay wedding,
It's about the nutty Italians.
There's a gay funeral too, right?
Well, now there's a funeral, and that character I play in the wedding is not at the funeral. I've never seen the funeral, but I sort of hope
it's a winning combo. You get audiences all the time.
They're great.
They probably all come from all over Manhattan, the Queens and Bronx and Staten Island.
Absolutely.
In Brooklyn.
Yes.
So, listen, Joe, this sounds amazing. And I want to talk more to what we were saying in the car about being in Italy and about the Italians and the culture there. And I certainly experienced it when I was there. I did have a little romance one night. Well, it was a one-night thing, but it was the bus driver.
Nice.
He reminded me right out of those times. Totally. I forget his. To be honest,
those guys
name.
Are aggressive.
But he was shameful. He had shame, and but it was great. It was a wonderful experience. I enjoyed it, and but again, I just noticed that in Italy it is a lot more, and Spain is much more open. What is it about the Italians?
I'm telling you something.
Tell me.
First, I want to start by saying I was truly shocked. I thought, because of my experience in Spain, this is how Europe was. They were just loose, lighter about sex, more open. And I included being gay in that. And as you're agreeing with me, it is not true at all. I mean, I analyzed it for 3 years. I mean, here are some of my thoughts, although I have no answers for you.
Okay.
It is in the shadow of the Vatican. So any Catholicism that freaks out our younger lives, which certainly freaked out some of my younger life, is right there in your face. You can't miss it. You're staring at it every day. So there's a lot of... But
the Pope recently said he cannot condemn the gay culture. He's not going to do that. He says that he has their right to be who they are, and I'm not going to say that they're evil or
Aren't you thankful
I'm very
to have a Pope that's saying that?
Where did he come from?
Well, wherever.
Argentina.
So I am happy to hear that, of course, about that. And I was very, very happy. But that was not
when you were there.
Soundbite that was going on when I was there.
Right.
Also, I don't know. I mean, it's the eternal city. It really has an old feel to it.
Well, I think the fact that these young men who are gay live with their families, and parents all have their desire that their son's going to have lots of kids and carry on the family name and all that. And there's shame right there.
Making decisions for themselves yet necessarily, and it is a decision. I mean, it's who you are, but you have to decide to, be out.
And I know there are many Italians who are married, but who also see men on the side.
Yes. Well, no. I mean, that's the point. Are there gay men in Rome? many are they out, not many at all. And it's sad to me, even the ones that are out, there's a certain amount of shame, more shame than here. Here, usually it's you're in, and when you're out, and you sort of live your life. There, even out is a gray area. So I don't